Black men have been led astray and run amok when it comes to holistic health and wellness and happiness, fulfillment. You're not going to be fulfilled as a black man if you don't have certain things in your life. But part of the problem is, the hugest part of the problem is understanding to whom we should be listening, right? We're in a time of such darkness and ignorance that we don't know who is qualified to teach us in certain areas. And sometimes when some are good in other areas, we strive to elect them to leadership in other areas when they're not qualified. I mean, you can be an excellent mechanic and not know anything about health. But certainly, if you are profound as a mechanic, there are principles that apply. And so this is why I think we get a little bit confused, because we assume that because a person has intelligence or that they have mastery in one thing, that they're qualified to lead in another thing. But when it comes to the realm of manhood and our fulfillment as men, we have listened to big brothers, hustlers, pimps, drug dealers, thugs, everyone on the street, spiritual leaders, etc. And all of these people have some kind of value, but not necessarily in every lane. Now, I want to talk specifically about the lane of relationships, because that is my expertise. And there are 5 things that are relevant for us as men. And I say this all the time. Men need to understand this about relationships with black women. I don't know what you have been sold, whether it's from jaded, bitter, angry men who are timid, unaware, and locked in friend zones, or if it's red pillars, blue pillars that are out there teaching you from failed experiences, or people who are not even in relationships are being elevated to superhuman status just because they say mean and hurtful things to women as a jab or a get back for the men who have been confused, hurt, and embittered by their relationships, right? But here's 5 things that you are going to experience if you're in an intimate relationship that is healthy, happy, and harmonious. Number 1, my brother, you're going to live 12 to 15 years longer than the average brother. That's so important if we're talking about life in the material world. We want to be here as long as possible. We want to hold on to life, as Baba Haru used to say. Number 2, you are going to have more sex. Now, I had an argument one time. I was doing an intake call with a couple, and this couple was an older couple. The woman was 62, I believe, and the man was 68. And the woman agreed that you could have more sex if you're married. The brother was postulating and arguing the point that if he were single, he could have more sex. First of all, bro, I'm saying you 68. Who are you having sex with at 68? A plethora of women at 68. Number 2, physically, in terms of time, opportunity, and what you got to nurture, I mean, yeah, you could go out and buy 10, 15 prostitutes, but eventually the opportunities to have sex when you live with a woman, love a woman, and sleep next to her are far greater than any situationship you may be deluded about or think that you could get yourself into because you got some money, or because you swing in a big henanoom, or some other thing that you think makes you above average in a world where most of the people are extremely average, right? Because of miseducation and misinformation. So you're going to have more sex. The dude was arguing with me up and down, and we just agreed to disagree. Me and his wife agreed. He disagreed. He said if he were single, he could be having more sex. Now, what I would concede to him is you could have more sex partners. That's potentially true. Obviously true. But more sex, I doubt it. Number 3, you're going to make more money. Studies show that you're going to make anywhere from $1 million to $10 million more and beyond if you are mated, if you are married. Your wife is going to bring more opportunity socially and economically, and in terms of management and support, she represents a helpmeet to you growing and flourishing financially. Number 4, you're going to have a greater quality of health. I think any male adult who's been in a relationship can attest to sociological, psychological, and biological improvement when they're with a beautiful black woman. Whether this comes from having good quality food to eat, if she's a great cook, and if she's aware of health and nutrition, but also the emotional peace and satisfaction. And certainly, generally speaking, women are more socially committed than men are. They're in more groups, they're more connected to other people who love them, support them, and look out for them. And when they mate with men, they extend that energy to the man. Number 5, and finally, so we got, you're going to live longer, you're going to have more sex, you're going to make more money, and you're going to have a greater quality of health. But finally, my favorite is that you have the greatest support system, the potential support system for the greatest threat to your well-being and survival, which is the global system of racism and white supremacy. When you are mated with a person, when you are mated with a woman, you have the greatest potential to fight and defeat that system than you do in any other way. And you could do it from within your home. What you invest your time, energy, and money into, and what you divest your time, energy, and money into, and then replicating yourself in your biological and cultural children, the two of you together. So the composite of these 5 things make up the reasons why it's important for men to mate. Now, the messages that men are getting are antithetical to this information. And so because men are unskilled, they run into snags when they start to deal in relationships. And then as a reaction, they say being in a relationship is the problem, or that black women are the problem. Relationships come with inherent problems, and black women are imperfect in this time, just like black men are. But having a emotional fitness, a social responsibility, a cultural understanding, and an enhanced skill will be the difference that makes the difference. And the program that I'm offering, AKOMA King, to brothers, a 14 weeks rite of passage, which is about, it's culturally based, and it is about emotional fitness and social responsibility, is a part of that difference that makes the difference. I want you to come to the informational webinar that I'm doing on this. Click the link around this video, join me so I can talk to you about, bro, you need to get the proof in your own life that these 5 things are real, and not just take anything that I'm saying. However, I am happily married 24 years. I am a clinical therapist that has been working with couples and families for 30 plus years. And I am your brother who is qualified to help you in this lane. And so in AKOMA King, we are dealing with, again, the 7 pillars of emotional fitness, the 7 pillars of social responsibility, and 14 zones of cultural initiation into a deeper, wider, greater, stronger, more effective, efficient, and elegant black man. If you're interested in something like that, click this link, get with me, and let me show you what's up. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and until then, as always, greeting you with Nia Akoma. Stand up, black man.